You don't see anything on the YouTube channel for the moment.
Now it should be on YouTube. We are streaming on YouTube, and I need to reconnect on LinkedIn. That's why it was not live
Okay,
on LinkedIn. So let's do that. Should not be too long. I can confirm that we are live now on YouTube. So let's
excellent.
enable LinkedIn. Here we are. Okay. Okay, I think we are streaming on all our destination now, which are YouTube and LinkedIn. I don't see it myself on LinkedIn, but let's suppose it's all right. Otherwise, in any case, we'll uh, we'll have a recording on available on YouTube, and that's gonna be everybody okay for everybody. So let's start the meeting of the day. So maybe some of us will join. We have a few participants who have accepted the invitation. And first of all, we are sorry for the update on this agenda because you may have noticed that Laurent and I were pretty busy last week at KubeCon in Salt Lake City. And the timing of this meeting was absolutely not, let's say, aligned with the busy week that we have had and the crazy days that we have had. So that's why we have postponed it first. But better late than never. And maybe, Laurent, we can just start with a brief, let's say, a recap and some information on, let's say, all the stuff that we have done last week. It was very, very packed, but quite, let's say, an amazing KubeCon and very good interaction with the community. I don't know if you have any specific point, Laurent, on your side. I'll tell you mine right after.
Yeah, maybe just starting with day zero, because day zero at KubeCon is usually the time for the collocated events, and we were talking in one collocated event that is called the App Developer Con. So obviously, very focused on application development stuff in a cloud native way. And this is where I had a talk with Daniel Ho from Red Hat. And we were having a talk, demonstrating some magic around Microcks, of course, plus using test containers and Quarkus. So this talk was called um, simplifying dependencies and testing with Microcks, streamlining cloud native development. And it was a 25, 30-minute talk, and it has been recorded. It should be available on the CNCF YouTube channel. I think they said before next week, so
Yeah.
maybe tomorrow or maybe early beginning next week it will be okay. And obviously, we will promote and resend the recording from our social channel. So yeah, really nice to share the stage with Daniel. Um, Pretty packed room, not the full room, but maybe something around half the room. But this year, the App Developer Con was really in a big room compared to last year in Chicago. So that's why also we had this effect of not having a full room, but at least a great number of attendees in the room.
Yeah, clearly. I mean, day zero was huge for us due to this talk, and with Daniel, which is also a CNCF ambassador and very implicated within the CNCF organization. So that was very, very nice to have this type of conversation. And I think this Quarkus demo clearly showcase how easy it is to do testing and do all the stuff at Microcks shine on the Quarkus ecosystem, which is
Yeah,
very amazing. I think that's certainly a talk that we're going to share and promote, and maybe record a demo on this specific point because we have had a lot of question and interaction on that. Made
yeah.
life so easy for developers.
Yeah, exactly. And when the video will be published, you will also have access to a QR code and links to the slides and also to the demonstration. So basically everything is in a GitHub repository. So if you want to access it without waiting for the recording, the repo is within the Microcks organization and it's called Microcks minus Quarkus minus demo, very simply put. And so you will have access to all the demo with a complete walkthrough on, yeah, how to replay it at home and how to discover, to get under the hood on what's in the demo.
Yeah, clearly. And then let's say day one and day two, we've been on day one. I think that's the day at which we announced the partnership and the press release with Traffic. You may know Traffic, the proxy, and Traffic Lab, the company. And we have had a very big announcement with them on the fact that they are using Microcks, and we're going to promote, by the way, this week the fact that they are now a Microcks public adopter as well, and they have integrated Microcks within their enterprise solution in order to provide sandbox as a service in a very easy and streamlined way. It's all Kubernetes driven, all related to the operator or operator using custom resources from end to end in order to be able to generate mock with Microcks and expose them through the gateway in all, let's say, the area that the gateway have access to. So
Mm.
it's quite magic and, let's say, a dream for a lot of big enterprises who struggle to do that by themselves. And we have had amazing interaction with company who thought that it was, let's say, uh, not possible to do that this way, or they completely discovered a solution that perfectly fit with, let's say, some of the biggest needs, especially in organization with hundreds of developers who need to provide sandboxes all around in a very, very automated way.
Yeah.
So we'll promote that again. We'll certainly do more on this specific topic because it's a huge announcement, and clearly, enhance and demonstrate, let's say, our strong commitment to be better together with all the cloud native ecosystem, which is, let's say, what we like to do as well
Mm.
with Laurent or the community.
Yeah, exactly. But maybe I can share my screen and just show you very quickly the landing page they have produced to showcase and to explain this feature. So now you should see my screen. Is it okay, Yassine?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. So yes, basically, yes, it's called Run Your Mock APIs as a first-class citizen because it's all it is. It's just about as soon as you have uploaded an OpenAPI spec to your traffic API gateway, you have this ability just clicking a single button to produce a complete sandbox environment based on the mocks and based on the examples in the spec. Okay. And a sandbox environment that is also completely and seamlessly integrated with your API gateway. So uh, uh, above the usage of mocks, it also allows you to try out your different API policies, rate limit, security stuff, all these kind of things in just a one-click button. So really easy to use, really, yes, seamless usage on mocking and how we can provide, yes, a simple, very API playground for developers. Yeah, so we'll provide a link in the show notes, I think. So could be nice to have a look at it. And if you love traffic, if you want to try it out, there is also this possibility to have a demonstration on how to have this and to use this all-in-one solution.
Yeah, as
Just
you can see at the top, just if you just request a demo, and they're going to be more than happy to showcase, let's say, what this integration is able to do
yeah,
in live.
exactly. And just as a teaser for the coming minutes, this integration is possible thanks to the new Kubernetes operator we were working on these last weeks and months. And if everything is okay, I will give you a quick demo on this in a few minutes. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
that's
stop the
cool.
sharing. Okay.
Yeah, and we'll share this landing page. So follow us again if it's not done already on social media and so on. That's where we used to promote this type of activities. And more to come because with traffic and some of us, we will have, let's say, a nice announcement like this one in the coming weeks or months. Let's say we are working heavily and strongly with better operation, interoperation with the ecosystem. So stay tuned. And now moving forward on the other activities, day 2 and day 3. Let's say that's where we've been fully busy. It was already packed already, but those 2 days were quite special for us because we were on booth duty with Laurent and also Hugo Guerrero from Red Hat to join us. Hugo is a Microcks maintainer as well, and he joined us on the booth, which is a kiosk within the Project Pavilion Village. And for this KubeCon, we've been lucky enough to have uh, twice half a day and one I mean the first day was a big half a day, let's say, in order to showcase Microcks and chat with the community. And that's where, first of all, it's really what we like to do because it's where we've been able to interact with people we never heard about and never heard about Microcks. We also as usual, see adopters, existing adopters who are coming on a booth, and it's giant for us. I mean, to let's say to first to put a name on a face and interact with people who are already using Microcks and who are coming with, let's say, big questions and really specific or very technical question on regarding their usages and how they use Microcks in a specific way and so on. So a lot of interaction, a lot of very good questions. Also, a lot of newcomers, people who are just coming on the booth and say, okay, I saw API mocking and testing. What is it? What are you doing? And we've been smashed completely with Laurent by some of those interaction and big enterprises who just discovered Microcks and look like that they may become new adopters in a very, very short time frame. So we'll follow up on that. We hope that all these attraction and people that we met may become new public adopters soon. But in any case, it was very, very good interaction with the community. So amazing 2 days on a booth, let's say.
Exactly. Okay. And now we're back to normal life after KubeCon.
Yeah, try to recover from jet lag. I'm still fighting on
Exactly.
my side, but it's okay.
Okay. So, what do you want
So
to talk about, Yassine?
yeah, I mean, there's plenty of activities. Maybe just a shout out to some of our friends from ACKPI because they celebrated their 8 years. and it's a very good announcement, and we are as well, let's say, so proud to be strong supporters and contributors of async API since day one. It was really a specification that changed the rules from our point of view regarding event-driven system and so on. So big shout out for the 8 years, for all the accomplishment that the async API community have done. And we are, let's say, so happy for the community and very happy and proud to be part of it. I think
Yeah,
that's,
excellent. Happy
yeah, check it
birthday,
out.
Async API.
As Fran said in his video, and at the end, happy birthday, async API. That's huge. So now I think, yeah, we can move forward on the demo you were talking about, Laurent, because I mean,
Yeah.
this new operator is just amazing. And as you have understood, it opened doors to many new type of interaction with the ecosystem, like the one that you were talking about previously with traffic.
Okay.
So
Okay,
let's go live
so
on the demo and cool.
yes, let's start with a brief introduction because operator is not a new thing in the Microcks ecosystem. We already had an operator for 4 years now, but the existing one has a lot of limitations due to mainly its implementation. So it was first implemented using Ansible because there is an Ansible SDK for operator. But to be honest, it was very slow. It was very difficult to maintain because of a lot of YAML files, YAML everywhere, and because also the complexity to have real, let's say, logic described within YAML. So typically it was a mess managing conditions on Ansible task execution plus managing templating using Jinja. Jinja is the templating engine for Ansible. So really difficult to implement new features on top of this operator. So few months ago, started a new initiative, recreating an operator from scratch. Okay. And this time using the Quarkus SDK for Kubernetes operator. And with this goal of having something that is really fast, really lightweight to be deployed, but also very extensible. So typically, now we don't have just one custom resource and one feature that is installing or maintaining Microcks, but we have some other custom resource, and we have also the ability to implement more and more other custom resources without without any let's say maintenance penalties, let's say. So let's start with a demonstration of it. I try to keep it short because probably we'll extract this to produce a small demonstration. And so you should now, sorry, see my screen. Sorry. And so typically this is the Microcks dash operator repository, okay, with a passing build, that's nice, but also comprehensive documentation on what it's all about. And without further ado, let's see it in action. I think it's much more easy to see it in action to understand what it's doing. So typically here is my Kubernetes cluster. Okay, this is a simple Minikube cluster. And I have deployed the operator within a namespace that is Microcks 2. Okay, to deploy this operator, you see it's very easy. It's just in the deploy folder here, and you have a single YAML file to deploy the operator. It's all-in-one. So just select your target namespace and you will have this operator being ready here. And so here I'm on the repo. I'm on the samples folder as well. Here you can see samples. Okay. and I have a bunch of different samples. The first one is obviously the first step. It's to describe a Microcks installation. Okay, Microcks instance. That's what we already had in the previous operator. So the kind of this resource is a Microcks resource, simply put. And basically you have free information to provide the version of Microcks you are targeting. Here we will use the nightly version, the 1.11 nightly version. And then you have two different URL to provide. The one you will access the Microcks instance and the one you will be using for accessing the key clock instance, okay? Everything else is optional, so I've tried different things here, but purely optional, just free information. And once you have described this, you can just create this resource in your cluster. So kubectl.create.f and here microcks-nightly, simply put. So you've got a Microcks instance that is created, and you can see that immediately the operator is starting to create deployments, starting the pods. It has also created secrets, configurations, and ingresses. Okay, so typically depending on the URL you have put in your custom resource, we have created different ingresses for the different services here. Very easy, okay? And now, just checking everything is green. Seems to be okay, everything is running, cool. I can then start interacting with my Microcks instance. So let's a new private window, okay? You will understand why in a few seconds. So I'm gonna take just this URL here because for the demo, I'm using self-signed certificates, okay? And so typically I have to accept those certificates before being able to connect to the instance. Obviously, you have the ability to provide your own certificates or to put a notation on the egress so that an external service like Cert Manager, for example, can just provide certificates on the fly for your instance, okay? So it's totally configurable. And now that we have access to Keycloak, we can just replace Keycloak by Microcks, and then we will arrive on the Microcks front page that will redirect to Keycloak, and because we have already accepted the certificate, it should work easily. So here again, I have to accept the certificate, and now I'm just logging to Microcks, and I can access to my instance here running. Okay.
With
So
the
you can
default password, by the way, which is described in the documentation for the one who never tried.
Exactly. Microcks 123, and here again, completely configurable. So you've got a running instance of Microcks in a Kubernetes cluster very easily, just describing a Microcks custom resource. But for the moment, this instance is empty. So you can see no API and services, no importers, and when you have access to the administration, no users, and no secrets, okay? And secrets, secrets are very important because it allows your Microcks instance to connect to your Git repository if they are protected, to connect to different brokers, to be able to mock messages, to connect to messages, to, yeah, all this kind of stuff. And so the other custom resource we have added so far is the one that is called secret source. Okay, so secret source, let me make this bigger. Okay, secret source like this is what we call the Microcks dependent resource. I mean, it has one annotation that say how this secret source applies to a Microcks instance that is named Microcks. Okay, Microcks is just the previous Microcks instance we've created. So it is related to this. And here we are asking to add some new secrets in this instance. And those secrets can be declared inline, just right here, for example, or they could be synchronized from Kubernetes secrets. So typically, this is the case of my secret 2 right here. Here, we will get the values from another secret that is already existing in our namespace. And once we will have declared this, the secrets in Microcks will be always synchronized with the secrets in Kubernetes. So if you have a connected secret manager like Vault, like CyberArk or whatever into your Kubernetes cluster, it's very easy to have this synchronization between what's coming from your Vault and what will be used by the Microcks jobs or importers or whatever. So here I can just create this resource in my Microcks in my cluster, my Kubernetes cluster, and this will be propagated to the models and to the objects within my Microcks instance. So typically, let me just refresh this. And of course, I've got a demo effect. Okay, it should be there. Let's try it out. Yeah, secrets just coming here. So I have now 2 secrets in my Microcks instance. So I can use them, for example, to connect to Git repository. But my instance is still empty. And now we can use the third custom resource we have designed that is named an API source. And an API source is also a Microcks dependent resource. So here it is still targeting the Microcks instance called Microcks. And within an API source, you just define all the different artifacts you need for this project, okay? All the different artifacts or all the different importers that you need to have for your project. So it could be primary or main artifacts if you have defined this flag main artifact true, or this could be secondary one that are just loaded as a secondary artifacts. And here again, it's very easy to load your Microcks instance with them. So just kc create, kubectl create, and creating this custom resource in your cluster should update. It's a bit slow this morning. Okay, should update your instance very quickly. Maybe. Let me try it out. Just refresh the page. Okay, don't know why. Okay, so now you have a fully functional Microcks instance with your different APIs being loaded in, with your different importers being configured. So you have a ready-to-work instance in a few seconds. Okay, so it's cool. So what does it mean is that now that by just describing your configuration as YAML file, maybe putting this into a Git repository, maybe also applying GitOps principles using tools like Flux or Argo CD, you can create a Microcks instance in a few seconds, and this instance will be fully loaded with everything you need as dependencies for your project, with everything you need as secrets, with everything you need as connectors, just using a YAML description. And obviously, the beauty of it is that when you are okay, and when you are done with your instance, you can just free resources by deleting everything. So, for example, like we can have just kc delete here my API sources, and everything should be removed now. That's it. I can also kc delete my secrets. And here again, should be removed. Nothing left here. And I can AC delete my Microcks instance. And now I'm freeing all the resources in my cluster, and I can just share my cluster with others that will use now these resources. So that's it. I think that's the beauty of operators and custom resource of on Kubernetes.
And clearly, thanks a lot, Laurent, for this demo, because I think that's really amazing. And again, the people that we've met at KubeCon have been very, very impressed with that. And that's clearly enable for Microcks all the power of Kubernetes, which is, I mean, amazing. I think going to help a lot of adopters and big adopters on this topic. Cool.
Yeah, and typically with the we see more and more in the field people wanted to provide testing environments on the fly, QA environments on the fly, maybe not deploying anything and all the dependencies they need, but just stripping down the environments to the dependencies and to the API dependencies they need to ease the deployment process by itself, or also to lower cost. And this is a great way to, yes, to achieve this sandbox as a service approach, because typically you just have to describe what you want in terms of APIs. Could it be REST APIs, gRPC, GraphQL, whatever, and also describe the data sets you will use to feed those APIs with mock data, with simulations. And yeah, using this principle, you can have just a full sandbox in a few seconds. That's really nice.
Yeah, and a sandbox that you can generate, regenerate, you can change the artifact and create a bundle and let's say create the data set of information and samples you would like to use in in your sandbox. Very easy to update and very easy to promote and put online on your developer portal or anything where you would like to give access to your consumers or partner. So I think
Yeah,
that's clearly a game changer in the sandbox world and a way to provide a simulation like what Microcks is doing. So that's great. Very
yeah,
cool. And
exactly.
for people who are listening to us, if this makes sense for you, we'll be more than happy to have your feedback on this enhancement. Tell us if it's something that you were looking for. If you have any improvement or any new ideas, just tell us. More than happy to, let's say, collect feedback from the community and especially the people who are going to use it.
Yeah, exactly. And give it a try. Check the documentation as well. We try to write pretty comprehensive documentation on, yes, what are the different custom resources, how to configure them, how to track their different status and different conditions. So yeah, give it a try, give us feedback, and there will probably be a first release of this in the coming days, because now that everything has been stabilized for KubeCon, we are ready to release the first iteration. But yeah, still eager to get your feedbacks on this.
Yeah,
And I
very
think
cool.
that's it.
That's very
Wanna
cool.
wanna stop sharing maybe?
Yeah, and maybe um, to close the call, because we have had let's say some questions in order to I mean from people who would like to join this meeting, because that's a community meeting, fully open. Everybody can join, jump in, ask questions, and interact with us and with the others. And we discovered, unfortunately, that the process through the Linux Foundation is not as, let's say, easy to understand as what we may expect. So we have had a quite nice feedback, and that's why feedback from you guys is very, very important. From Oleg Nenash. And let me share you my screen so then I can, you know, just tell you that now, if you go on, the GitHub's community repo from Microcks, here you'll see a lot of information on community, and we try to invent, but there's a new Markdown file, which is join our meeting. This is something that has been written with Oleg. Thanks again, Oleg, for that and this contribution. And it clearly explains all the steps that you need to do in order to join this meeting, put this meeting within your calendar, and be able, let's say, to jump in and don't miss any Microcks community call anymore if you want to join us. So feel free to read it. Again, feel free to tell us if it's not enough to make it available for you and easy to join. Unfortunately, we cannot change the process and the way the Linux Foundation is providing us Zoom access. So that's a process that all of us need to follow. But at least here, we think that is clearly described and explained. So next meetings, if you want to join, follow this process and jump in to discuss with us.
Yeah.
So I think that's quite good for this meeting, Laurent.
Yeah,
I don't know if you have any other
yeah,
points.
maybe just as a teaser on what's coming next and what could be also the next small demo that we can include in these community meetings. I would like to share what we are cooking at the moment, the latest release of different artifacts. So really, in 5 minutes, let me just share what we've done so far. So one important thing we released this week is an update to the Microcks plugin for Backstage. You know, Backstage is the CNCF flagship project for internal developer portal. And we were having a plugin for a long time, but this plugin was not longer supported in the new versions of Backstage. So this is now the case, and the newest release, released 2 days ago, is now available for latest version of Backstage. So if you're a Backstage user, you can now upgrade your installation with confidence. The Microcks plugin will be supported. So typically, for people who don't know about it, what this plugin is doing is that it's synchronizing your API definitions in different Microcks instance within your Backstage developer portal. So your developers can quickly discover your APIs. And when you're in Backstage and you are using something like the Swagger UI to test your API out, then you are actually using the sandbox APIs that are provided by Microcks. So we have this bidirectional link between Microcks and Backstage to import and then to use the mocks from Backstage. So very important upgrade this week.
And
One
it works
thing also,
exactly the same way with the version of Red Hat, which is named Developer Portal.
yes,
Developer
exactly.
Hub, sorry.
Yes, exactly. Red Hat has a specific distribution of Backstage that is called Developer Hub. And the specific thing about Developer Hub is that it allows to have dynamic plugins. You don't have to rebuild or recompile your Backstage installation by this dynamic behavior. And Microcks is also working in this way. And two other things I wanted to highlight, because this could be the topic of next demonstration as well, is that finally we succeed in shipping the Go language version of our test containers library. Okay, it was not possible so far because we were expecting enhancement at the test containers Go library level regarding network management and so on for advanced stuff with Kafka. And this is now okay. So we just have provided a 0.2.0 release 2 days ago. So you now have in Go exactly the same feature set you had in other language for the Microcks test container module. So it is now fully aligned on Java and on Node.js. And of course, if you want to see it in action, we have also updated this repository that is the companion repository of the previous one. That is just a full-blown demo on how to, yes, how to use it on your own project and on your own application. So it described a fake application and everything you need to do and you need to know to, yes, to have this enhanced local development experience, to write tests for REST, for async API, this kind of stuff. So check it out. And finally, my last word, and it is also, I wanted to give a big shout out to one new contributor in the Microcks ecosystem, um, contributor that is called Sébastien Degodez. Okay. Thanks a lot, Sébastien, because Sébastien has contributed a .NET version of our test containers library. So it is not yet released. We already have an official, let's say, alpha release that is available on NuGet. Okay, NuGet is the package manager for .NET, for C#, this kind of stuff. We expect to release it in a few days, just plugging Sonar, just plugging Fossa, all these tools on it at the moment. But yeah, we'll have in a few days a fully blown yes, a .NET and C# test containers library as well for Microcks with all the same feature set that in the other languages. So thanks again to Sébastien. Big shout out to Sébastien for this huge work on it. And here again, we'd like to have your feedback on it. And I remember from some discussions on Discord, but also on GitHub discussions that there were some people looking at our test container modules for .NET. It was not yet ready, and we were looking for people that would like to start the initiatives. And yes, thanks to Sébastien, it is not possible. So yeah, thanks again, man.
Yeah, that's very cool because we know that I mean, we've been in contact with some adopters who were, let's say, looking for that. So it's coming and amazing to have a contribution from adopters like that. That's clearly something we love so much. So that's great announcements, and again, a huge amount of work. And stay tuned because we're going to promote that, of course, in the coming weeks or when it's released. So this container, two new good stuff in the pipe, Go and .NET. That's very cool. And by the way, because it's also missing, if you are a Python developer and if you love Python, and if you like to do the same, contribute on test container module for Python, just reach out to us because that's also something we heard within the community and something that is missing at the moment. All right, I think that's it for this community meeting. The next one is on 2 weeks, and then regarding this specific time slot, we'll come back on the regular, let's say, days, which is going to be the second week, sorry, of the month of each month. And stay tuned, follow us, and don't forget, let's say, to join the next meeting.
Yeah, sure. And if you want to have also specific demo or specific discussion on specific topics, do not hesitate reaching out and proposing topics. We really like to know what you are struggling about or what you're asking question on, and really want to be helpful on that.
Clearly, and the way to do it, again, join us on Discord, GitHub discussions, or as we are live streaming on LinkedIn, YouTube, and so on, feel free to add a comment just on this social media and interact with us. We'll follow up for sure.
Exactly.
All
Okay.
right. So let's close this meeting. Thanks a lot, Laurent. Thanks a lot to all the people who are going to listen to it live, or maybe you're going to check the recording, and really looking forward to have some feedback on all the stuff that we've discussed today.
Yeah, cool. Don't hesitate. Okay. See
See
you
you.
around.